When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hey guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fan fiction story. As we start our story off with a Saiyan heading to Earth in a Saiyan pod, you see a male Saiyan sleeping in the Saiyan pod, resting until his next challenge. Asashi comes from a family of Saiyans that was part of the Saiyan race, but they were banished several generations ago in the outskirts of space for trying to take over and kill the royal family. The moment the Saiyan pod landed on Earth, Saiyan found himself in some sort he found himself once he opened the pod in some sort of forest. What type of shithole planet did I land on? Let's see, I don't really sense any higher power levels. I suppose it'd be a good idea to scout the civilization on this planet, if there's any. The Saiyan took flight to survey the area. Asashi saw a nearby town. Instead of making his presence known once he got to the city, he stole a hoodie from a couple of thugs and vaporized them on the spot. He took what he wanted, then he vaporized them. As he walked into the city, as he sees all type of different people. When Asashi got in the middle of town, he came across a green-haired woman with green eyes fighting a bunch of men. As he overheard several of the citizens or the alien species on this planet refer the men as heroes and the woman as a villain. He was curious, so he watched the fight in the midst of the crowd. Surrender, villain. You can't escape. You're outnumbered. Don't make me laugh, heroes. You might think you have me surrounded, but in reality, you're just my victims. Inko slammed her fist into the ground as the streets gets tore apart. As all the heroes get knocked backwards from the force of the impact of blow that she ripped through the ground like it was butter. Pathetic heroes. As she rushed forward to kick one of the heroes, snapping his neck with her foot with the force of her kick. Regroup. I'll hold her off. We just need to wait for a higher tier hero to show up. I don't think so. As the hero goes flying past Inko, as the mysterious man pull off the hoodie. Seems like you boys are having fun. Mind if I join in the party? Bro, it's been so long since I had a good old-fashioned brawl. Who are you? Who I am doesn't matter. I like your fiery spirit, woman. What is your name? Inko. As he walks up to Inko and kisses her on the hand. Well, Inko, let's show these boys a good time, shall we? You're quite the charmer. Very well. Sure, why not? As long as you could keep up with me. Whoever you are. Don't worry, my green-haired vixen. I could I could hold my own. As Inko and Asashi fight the rest of the heroes, after defeating them, they made their escape before the higher tier heroes could show up. Inko took the Saiyan back to her hideout. They partnered up for several years. Asashi did finally tell Inko who he was and what species he belongs to. After showing her his ship, she finally believed him that he was an alien from another planet, from Sadala. Well, his race is from Sadala. He's actually never been there. From being his family being outcasted and banished and all. Over the years, they start to get close. Started to get close. Inko's very headstrong woman. Hasashi found that a very attractive quality in a woman. They did become intimate several times over the years, since they knew each other. But unfortunately, one day he had to leave the planet because there's a lot of Saiyans on his trail by now that still hold a grudge against his family. He got an early warning from one of his allies. There was a few Saiyans that's been tracking down his trail. He didn't want to endanger this planet, so they had to say their goodbyes. Give me a second, guys. Things keep popping up. They had one intimate moment one last time before he left the planet. Hasashi promised Inko that he would return one day. As he left the planet, a few months after he left, Inko started to show signs of being pregnant. So she stopped her activities as a villain and used a fake identity, then moved to America to raise her son in the safety in Metropolis. Inko was fully aware of the moon situation when it came to Saiyans. Hasashi told her himself, so she had her son's tail removed when he was born, so they don't bring unwanted attention to themselves. With the new baby in her care, her priorities have changed. She no longer wants to make her father suffer. She just wants to make sure her son is raised in the right environment and shown the right path, and to show her son as much love as is humanly possible. Unlike her father, she was raised, unlike her father, how she raised her. She promised herself that she would not raise her son like her father raised her. Being the daughter of the number one hero, didn't have a lot of time for quality time with her father very much. He was more concerned about fighting his arch nemesis than spending time with his only daughter. When Inko got to Metropolis, she started to use her real name again. Despite despite being a new city and a new country, she formed a friendship with a hero that goes by Power Girl. They grew quite close to each other, almost like sisters. The clone of Supergirl slowly convinced Inko to use her powers for good. Power Girl is fully aware that her best friend, background in Japan. She eventually became a member of the Justice League. She even formed a friendship with Diana, aka Wonder Woman. Diana even invited her to Paradise Island to train her as an Amazon, but she had to wait until her son was a little bit older. When her son turned 5, she spent some time on Paradise Island with Wonder Woman training. She didn't want to leave her son. She didn't want to be apart from her son for a few months, but she needed the training, so she left the care of her beloved son to Power Girl. Inko completely trusts Power Girl with her son. The only person she would trust her son with. But during that time, the members of the Justice League would switch off, taking care of the young man. The Justice League's only been formed for a couple years after the alien invasion from a parasite alien known as Imperium. Luckily for Inko, the Imperium never made it to Japan, so she never saw the aliens in person. She's only heard about them from Power Girl and the rest of the league. Her life was perfectly sorry. Her life was going perfectly. Her son was happy. Her son just turned 6, but her father had to ruin her mood by coming to America. She saw her father, All Might, walk in the Justice League with Superman. What the hell are you doing here? Inko, what are you doing here, daughter? Sorry. You just vanished. I thought you died. Don't you dare call me that. You lost that right to call me daughter, since you chose your career over me. And you wonder why I end up being the villain when I wasn't living in Japan. You stupid son of a bitch. I had no idea you were the daughter of All Might. Everyone, let's just calm down. I can't stand being in the same room with that pompous asshole. I need to take care of my son. You deal with him. Wait, son? Yes, I have a son and you're not going anywhere near him. Number one hero, All Might. As Inko storms off, Inko walked into the room where her son is sleeping in the Hall of Justice. Yeah, she sat down on the bed right next to her son, sleeping peacefully. She gently strokes his green hair. Power Girl walks into the room to check up on her. She knows she was quite upset, seeing her father again. There you are, Inko. I heard what happened from Superman. Are you alright? I'm fine. Thank you for checking upon me. When he showed up, a lot of old, suppressed feelings resurfaced. You know, if you just need to vent, I'm here for you. After all, that's what a best friend's meant for. We appreciate the gesture. I'm fine now. I'm a lot more calmer now. Let's go. Look, let's not wake up my little guy here. As they both step out of the room. When they got out of the room, both Inko and Power Girl got contacted by Batman through the communicator. That's communicator piece that's on their ear. We're on our way, Bats. Come on, Power Girl. Before the Bats gets impatient. Can't have that. As both girl or women start to giggle at their cracks at Batman being broody and all, just his normal behavior. Inko and Power Girl went back to the rest of the Justice League. When she entered the room, she completely ignored her father's presence. Thanks for everyone to gather up on short notice. I just got a report in from one of my satellites. 2 unknown spacecrafts are heading to Earth. I estimate they should be here in 2 days. We don't know if they have any hostility towards us. I just want everyone to be on high alert. Do you know what type of aircraft they're coming in, Bruce? At this current time, no, Inko. Nor do we know the size of their spacecraft. I know there's 2 of them heading towards Earth direction. So whatever. So I want everyone hands on deck on this. According to my calculations from their distance and angle, they don't if they don't venture off course, they should be arriving the outside of Metropolis borders. Back in outer space, as the 2 Saiyan pods heading towards Earth, then in Jin, 2 Saiyan elite warrior class. Brother, what do you think the outlaw wanted on this world? I have no idea, Jin. That's why we're going. That's why we're going, little brother. We're going to find out what he was up to, and if this world is occupied with sentient life, we're to take care. We're to take over, and then inform the Empire that after we're done. A couple days has passed as they finally land on Earth outside of Metropolis. This world seems nice, Jin, as both of them exit their pod. Brother, let's let's check our scatter to see if there's any good power levels. We we got a big we got a big one. Check your scouter, bro. It's about 10 it's up to 10,000. You're shitting me. That's not as powerful as as us as us, but that's pretty decent. You're you're indeed right, brother. 10,000 impressive. Let's head to that power signature. It should be somewhere in that direction. Why don't you why don't you cause some trouble while I investigate who this power level belongs to? You're so good to me, bro. As both Saiyans separate to go their own direction, Jin finally approached Metropolis, seeing all the residents go about their daily lives. As Jin hovered in the sky, pathetic, these worthless life forms. Let's see what their power level is. Pathetic. Level 1, occasional level 10 maggots. Let's liven things up, shall we? As he extends his hand outwards towards the city as he begins to blast off Kai Blast at the city, as mass panic starts to occur. The Saiyan is charging up a humongous Kai Blast with both his hands. Let's see you survive this, pathetic aliens. Die at the hands of a Saiyan elite. When Jen unleashed his attack, his Kai Blast was reflected right back at him by a man wearing some sort of blue and red suit, wearing a cape. Jen backhand his own Kai Blast attack as it goes flying in the distance, creating a loud explosion as a gust of wind starts blowing throughout the whole city. Several windows from the buildings start to shatter and break. That was nearby. I don't know who you are, but you're not going to attack my city. Well, what are you? You're definitely different. Let's see what your power level is. Adequate, but nothing that seemed a threat to me. Doesn't matter who you are. Let's have a fight, shall we? As the Saiyan rushed towards Superman, landing a hit across his face, as Superman goes flying through several buildings. As Jin gave chase, Superman was flying through buildings as he turned around in midair and landed a powerful strike across the unknown opponent. Land a strike across the Saiyan's face as Jin goes flying into the sky. Clark stopped his momentum by digging his feet into the ground and jump off in the air and begin to give chase as the Kryptonian and Saiyan exchange blows in the middle of the air, causing small shockwaves from their attack or from their impact of fists colliding. Meanwhile, Zen, Saiyan Elite Warrior, pinned down the high power level at the Hall of Justice as Zen float down and kick the door open. He immediately dodged a attack from Flash and backhand him as he goes flying against the wall. As he slowly walks through the building towards where the high power level is located, as he was surprised to see saw a small little boy sleeping in bed. The moment the boy woke up from the door getting blasted open, he karate chopped the back of the boy's neck, knocking the child out as he picked the boy under his right arm. I don't know who you are, kid, but you have a shocking resemblance to that outlaw. It could be possible that he had bred with one of these aliens on this planet, so that makes you a half Saiyan. Interesting, if my theory is correct. See your tail? They must have removed it. If he is a Saiyan. All Might entered the room. Get your hands off my grandson. As he swung his fist at the intruder, only for the intruder to catch his fist with his hand. Not a bad, not a bad, not a bad attack. Now get out of my way, weakling. As the Saiyan kicked All Might in the stomach as he goes flying out of the building, skidding across the street. The moment he walked out of the Hall of Justice, he got hit by a shield across his face as Wonder Woman grabbed Izuku out of his arms. That that kind of tickled. A woman. Interesting. I suggest you give me back the brat, or I might have to hurt you, woman. Oh my, take Izuku. Clearly he's after him. He's after him. I'll hold him off until reinforcements gets here. I won't allow them to get their hands on my grandson. I might have made a mistake while raising my daughter, but I will not repeat with my grandson. I'll be damned to let those bastards get him. All Might took his grandson from Wonder Woman as he immediately jumped off to get to a safe location. No matter, I'll get the kid back. But first, let's have a little fun, shall we? Let's see what you're made of, Earthling. Won't let you get your hands on the boy, whoever you are. I'm stopping you here and now. As she pulled out her sword from her sheath, when she swung her sword at the Saiyan, by her surprise, the sword shattered from mere impact from the Kai blade or from the key blade that he made from his energy. The moment the Saiyan warrior saw her sword shattered, he landed his fist across her face as she goes flying across the street. As Wonder Woman dug her fist into the ground, stopping her momentum from going any further. I'll give it to you, woman. You can take a punch. Maybe if you're lucky, I'll make you my woman. One's woman. And I could take a lot more than that. As she rushed the Saiyan warrior and landed a devastating hit across his face, as he goes flying into a building. Zen calmly walks out of the destroyed building with a smirk on his face. Now that's what I call a hit. Let's see what else you got. Hot stuff. Let's see you handle this. Let's see you handle this. As he extends his hand outward towards Wonder Woman and starts shooting out Kai Blast, only to see Wonder Woman reflect his Kai Blast with her shield into the air. That shield of yours is pretty sturdy. Let's see how sturdy it is. As he disappeared and reappeared right in front of Wonder Woman, cocked his hand backwards, as Wonder Woman used her shield to block the attack. As the shield and fist collided, there was a loud bang noise, followed by a small shock wave as Wonder Woman could feel the vibration from his attacks from hitting her shield. Before he could continue his attack or his assault, there was a loud crash as someone fell right in front of him. As he sees his little brother on the ground. Seems like you got your butt kicked, little brother. Shut up, asshole. As Jin got up and dusted himself off, I underestimated these. I underestimated that one in the cape. How's your battle going, brother? Did you find the one who... Did you find the one that was responsible for that power level? This is a very interesting planet. It seems to have some powerful warriors on it. And that woman, I've taken a liking to her. I will claim her as my woman. Let, let me guess, brother. She denied you. She'll reconsider. But that's not important. I believe there's a half Saiyan on this world. Where that impressive power level came from, it came from only about a boy, around the age of 5 or 6 by the looks of him. So how you want to handle this, brother? Let's kick it up a notch. You have my permission to transform. About time. Time for the real fun to start. As both elite Saiyan warriors scream out in unison, as their black hair starts to fade between blonde and black, and their eyes fade between the black color to blue, as they fully transform into their transformation state, as they fully unleash Grade 1 Super Saiyan form. Incredible speed, Zen land a devastating attack on Wonder Woman with a devastating kick to the side of her ribs, as she goes flying into several buildings as they both engage Superman 2-on-1 in the middle of the air. With both of brothers fighting Superman at the same time, Superman is slowly getting overwhelmed. Clark was left but no choice but to stop holding back. Before the two brothers could press their attack, Inko and Power Girl both land a hit off of Jin. Power Girl land across her fist across his face as Inko land a devastating kick across his stomach as Jin goes flying into several buildings. Brother, you're gonna pay. You're all gonna pay. Fine. Screw this planet. Screw all of you. As he's about to charge up an attack to destroy the planet itself, as a Saiyan pod crash land in the middle of their fight. New Saiyan pod slowly opens up as Asashi comes out of the Saiyan pod. I knew it was a good idea to keep an eye on tabs on this world. I knew eventually they would send some elite warriors here. Asashi, you're back. As she flowed towards the new Saiyan arrival, and embraced him in a hug, as she grabs his collar of his shirt and kisses, or collar of his armor or whatever, and kisses him. After they broke from their embrace and kiss, I miss you too, my fiery green hair vixen. So much to tell you, but for now, we need to get these bastards off my planet. Don't worry, I plan to. You might want to step back a little bit, Inko. As Inko did what she was told, she stepped back a little bit. Inko watches the love of her life screamed and transformed into his Super Saiyan form that she's only seen once. As he rushed towards Zen and nailed him across the face, stopping his attack, his attempts to destroy the planet. As both Super Saiyans clash with each other with Superman. As Power Girl and Wonder Woman and Inko engaged the other Super Saiyan when he finally recovered from getting attacked from Inko and Power Girls from attack, or they're both their attacks. We finally meet again, outlaw. I finally found you. So I was right. You do have a son. Son? What the hell are you talking about? I have no son. Just rich. Kind of funny. There's a half Saiyan on this world, and you don't know nothing about it. As soon as I kill you and the rest of this lot, and destroy this planet, I'll be taking the boy with me. To Sadala. As a gift. To the Queen and King. If you're lucky enough, your son won't outright be killed. Maybe keep it as a pet. Possibly. As the two Saiyan warriors continue their battle, with the help of Superman, Zen goes flying backwards towards the ground, heavily damaged from their attack. Damn it, I didn't realize he got so much stronger. Brother, we're retreating. As both brothers blast a key blast to get their attention as they flew off towards their pod, about time the rest of the group got to where they were heading, the two Saiyan ships retreated with their tails between their legs as they head back to their planet Sadala and to inform the royal family what they found out. I don't know who you are, but thanks for the help. Inko seems to know you, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I would like to know who you are and who those two were. You dare demand things from me. Sweetheart, calm down. They're just concerned. Fine. I will reveal what information I do, but don't you dare demand anything from me. Asashi, I have so much things to tell you, dear. And there's someone you need to meet. Where is he anyways? Wonder Woman. Where is my son? Asashi gives Inko a concerning look in his eyes. Don't worry, dear. I'll explain everything once we get to a proper area to have this conversation. Whoever these two were after Izuku. All Might is protecting him. I know you're probably upset, Inko. They were clearly after him, so I had no choice. I couldn't protect the boy without fighting those two at the same time, or fighting him at the same time. I understand, as much as I hate to admit it, you made a good call. Just tell that bastard of father to head back to the Hall of Justice with my son. When everyone went to the Hall of Justice to gather up to hear what the new arrival has to say about their recent attack on Earth. For starters, my name is Asashi. I am a Saiyan from a planet called Sadala. We are a warrior alien race. Other two that attack this planet were also Saiyans. They most likely will return with greater numbers. Greater numbers the next time they show up. I originally came to this planet just out of curiosity. That's where I met this lovely woman over here, Inko. So what are you after? What's your endgame in this, Asashi? Give me that condescending look, human. I have no endgame. My family was banished from Sadala because of my ancestors trying to overthrow the royal family. They still hold a grudge against my family. I am the last of my family line. Well, dear, that's not necessarily true anymore. Has he regained consciousness yet, Wonder Woman? He has. He is playing with Power Girl at the moment. Alright, send him in. Izuku walked in the room holding on to Power Girl's hand. Hey, sweetheart. How you're feeling? As she bent down to check on see if her son's was injured in any way. She knows what type of quirk he has. But she's still concerned, nevertheless. That's still her son. Okay, Mom, what's going on? Dear, I would like you to meet someone very important. You see that man over there? With the long black hair? Mom? That is Asashi. He is your father. Say, say hello, dear. No reason to be shy. As she nudged him towards his father. So this is, so he's mine? Of course he's yours. After all, I did have his Saiyan tail removed. I showed signs of being pregnant months after you left Earth. Hasashi walked up to his son to get a closer look. Hello, boy. Dad? Well, he definitely inherited your mother. Sorry, you definitely inherited your mother's green hair. I suppose his tail is probably a good thing. Sorry, it's probably a good thing you removed his tail. His tail hasn't grown back yet. Not sure if it can or not. Been known to happen occasionally. Well, I'll be damned. I have a son. What's your name, boy? Izugu? Izugu? This changes things. Now that I know that I actually have a son, I will no longer have to leave this planet. And I really don't care if any of you disagree with me on this. I will not abandon my son. If I knew you were pregnant, I would have never left. I would have never left. I would never left for so long. So, what do we do from here? As long as you don't have any, as long as you don't hold any hostility towards any of the human population here, I really don't see an issue for you staying here on Earth. I really don't care if I have your approval or not. I'm staying anyways. I take it the blonde one's your father? Unfortunately, yeah. That's my dad. Use the phrase dad sparingly. The Saiyan warrior walked up to All Might and slammed his fist right into his face. That's for Inko. As he extended his hand out for All Might to take it, as Asashi helped him up, if you hurt it again, I'll kill you. As he grabbed onto his hand, as he pulled up to his feet, as he rubs his cheek, I guess I deserve that. I know I fucked up. I allowed my feud with my arch nemesis to cloud my judgment when it came to Inka. I know you probably hate me, but I do wish to somewhat repair our relationship. For my son's sake, we'll see. Now, you might excuse me. I'll be taking my son and the father of my son back to my house. Say goodbye to your grandpa. Nice to meet you, Grandpa. Nice to meet you, grandson. We'll see each other again. I'm staying in the States for a while. As the family left, as they eventually got to their house, as Inko showed her around the house, showed him around the house. Dear, this is where I live. Looks nice. Not what I'm used to. Dear, your life is barely scraping by is over. I want us to be a family, the three of us. So, I expect a ring on my finger in the near future. Ring? For what for? A tradition on Earth. It's called marriage. Marriage? Is that some sort of food? It's not. And if I hear you refer that as food, I'll hate you. Okay, I understand. Jesus, woman, you're scary. As we time skip, several years has passed. Asashi did propose to Inko. And Inko and her father did slowly repair their relationship. both parents, Inko and Asashi, did train their son when he was not in school. He's officially turned 14. Over the years, Inko worked with him with his quirk. She found out she she came to realize his quirk was a lot more than just a regeneration. She found out that it was a lesser version of his grandpa's quirk, with a slight regeneration aspect to it. He spent many years experimenting with his own power, alongside learning to fly and using Kai from his father. The hostile Saiyans hasn't returned yet. Inko still hasn't, well, Izuki still hasn't achieved Super Saiyan yet. He's 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 tried many times before. He just needs a little push to get to that point where he's able to achieve the Super Saiyan state. He just needs the necessary anger to unlock it for the first time. As you see Izuku on the beach with his father training, as he dodged several of his father's attack or his father's blows, only to find his father's knee into his stomach. While his knee is in his son's stomach, Asashi grabbed the back of his head and slammed his face into the sand. Is that all you got, boy? As he kicked his son in the stomach when he was on the ground, as he skid across the sand, Izuku slowly got up and wiped the blood from his mouth. For a brief second, Asashi can see his son's hair color flicker from blonde to green. As they both rushed each other with their hands cocked backwards as they throw out a fist, as both their fists collided. You did well. You you almost have it there. You almost got it, son. Let's call it a day. Luckily, you have regeneration, cuz if I brought you home injured, your mother would kill me. Literally, kill me. Thanks for helping me, Dad. I can feel it. I'm almost there. I know, son. I know in time you will achieve it. At least the first grade at Super Saiyan. When you finally achieve the first grade and you master it, I'll show you how to go into grade 2. It will come in time. No reason to force it, son. Come on, let's go home. As they both fly back, as they head back to their house in Metropolis, when they both walk into the house, they see Inko with her hands on her hips. Late. Mom, we got carried away in training. As she gives her son a loving smile, why don't you get cleaned up and then meet me down in the kitchen and sit down for dinner. Dinner should be almost done. Mom. So, how did it go? He's almost there. He just needs the right emotions to fully unlock Super Saiyan. No matter how many times I pushed the boy, he always surprised me. He has quite a drive. He might have inherited your eye color and hair color, but he inherited my stubbornness. Or did. Remember, we're supposed to be at the Hall of Justice tomorrow. We have a meeting with the rest of the Justice League. Oh, great. I still can't believe you made me agree to join their little group. Stop complaining, dear. If you didn't, you would be bored out of your mind. Oh, you're right, dear. I'm right. I'm always right. Now you get clean up as well. I don't want you dragging sand into my house, said the woman. Did you say something? Good. Move along so I can finish dinner. As he walks upstairs, grumbling, then the whole family sat down to eat dinner. After dinner finished, before Izuku could leave the table, and we finally got done eating dinner, there was a lot of food Being Saiyans, they had to eat a lot of food to keep their bodies functioning, right? I wanted to talk to you, son. Me and your father has already talked about this. Last week. What is it, mother? Would you like to spend some time with your grandfather in Japan? As you know, I'm still considered a villain in Japan, so I can't step foot in Japan myself. Because your mother did kill a lot of heroes back in her day. Before, before I retired as a villain. What about you, Mom? Don't worry, dear. Me and your father will be fine. It's up to you if you want to go or not. I've heard Grandpa talk about Japan all the time when he came to visit. Sure, why not? If you're fine with it, yeah, I'm willing to pay Gramps a visit. But I'll give my father a call. I suggest you start packing. I'll have all your transfer papers ready for your school that you'll be attending in Japan. Just behave yourself, okay? And be careful. Things in Japan are different than here in the US. Quirks usage is very regulated in Japan. That just sounds like it'd be a pain in the ass, Mom. Trust me, I know. It definitely is. For dinner, Mom. I'll start packing. Watches her son go upstairs to his room. Sure about this year? I know how you feel about. Sorry. Are you sure about this year? I know how you feel about Japan. I might despise Japan, but our son needs to make some friends. He's not ready to join the Young Justice just yet. He's far too young, and he needs to learn about his heritage. Part of his heritage. His human side. What about the Teen Titans? You know full well, as I do, our son is not really a team player. Doesn't play well with others. Got that? He probably got that from me. Father should be able to my father should be able to help him get used to being on a team, how the hero system works out there in Japan. And it's to temper him somewhat, so there won't be any issues when if he decides to join the Young Justice in the near future. We'll just have to wait and see. Don't get me wrong, dear. I'm going to miss our son dearly. He means the world to me. He means the world to me. He just needs a change of scenery. I agree. I have no doubt he'll be able to achieve Super Saiyan on his own. I can only do so much for him. He has to learn the rest on his own. It's been quite a few days as you have Izuku at the airport, at the terminal, saying goodbye to his parents. I don't know why you pay for this ticket. You know I could fly, right, Mom? Sweetheart, and it would take you far too long to get to Japan, and people flying is out of the ordinary. It's very unordinary. People normally don't fly. People would start asking questions if they saw someone flying Japan. And technically, you're half alien, so it's best to keep that down low as much as possible. Fine, Mom. Such a pain. Your mother a hug? Izuku gave his mother a hug and said goodbye to his parents, his mother and father. Take care of yourself, kid. Make me proud. Thank you, old man. Well, it looks like the plane is about to be. Sorry, it looks like the plane is about to board. I should probably get going. Call me immediately when you arrive. Do, Mom. Take care of yourself. Don't worry. Me and your father will. As they watch their son board the plane to Japan, as that's where we're going to cut it. Hope you guys have a good night and day, judging by time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.